Hey, everyone. Welcome back to another amazing segment of the Black Girl Encourage Her. You already know I'm your hostess, Shaniqua Inspires, and I got a gem. I got a gem that you are going to fall in love with, and we all going to be one big happy family after that. So I'm not even going to waste any time. I'm going to bring her on up to the stage. Come on, girl. Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey, Dr. Shaniqua, how are you?
I am fantastic. I am so delighted to have you here as a guest on the Black Girl Encourage Her. So now I know a little bit about you. I consider you my sister friend. I want everybody else to get to know a little bit about Miss Tasha Owens. Come on and introduce yourself to the people.
Yes. First, thank you so much for having me. I am so excited to be here on this podcast. So, yes, my name is Tasha Owens. I also go by Miss Tasha Talks Life, and I am a mindset and wellness coach, and I guide you to your dream life faster by making simple tweaks to your mind, body, and goals. So, that's who I am.
I love it. Your mind, your body, and your goals. Listen, you tapped into something good right there. So we might as well just go ahead and dive into it. What goals you working on? What you got working? What you working on?
Oh my goodness, like where do I start? Where's the big scroll?
Well, it's good
Man,
to know that you at the very least have them, right? So we want to make, they say the people that coach can't play. No, you're doing it all, right? So you're helping people set goals, but you too have a number of goals that you are working on. Why would you even think that these goals, why is this so important to you?
oh yeah. So goals keep you aligned to your purpose. Goals keep you on task. Goals help you to elevate, right? I feel like if you don't have a goal or a plan or a vision, you're just out here aimlessly. You're not walking in your purpose. You're not even going to your purpose. So it's very important, and it doesn't have to be. And a lot of times people think that goals have to be like this big grand thing. Now, my goals are always outlandish, right? Because my God is so big. But
Yes.
if you're not used to setting goals, you just can start with something. If you aspire to do something, right, in the next couple of weeks or whatever, that is a goal, right? But if you don't have the action, if you don't have the belief, if you don't have those things in place, then it's really just a dream. So that's
Yeah.
why it's so important to differentiate between our dreams and actually making them attainable goals.
All right, so like I like that. That's a good layup. Let's go there. So tell someone what's the difference. Maybe people are interchanging, the word dream and goals, and maybe there's this lack of understanding. So let's teach a little bit. Let's get into what would you even say would be the difference between them?
Yes. Okay. So that's a great question. Dream is something that that you think about. You may even daydream about it. You may get warm and fuzzy about it, right?
Hmm.
It may be something that you could even see. But if you are not actively setting your intention, where now we're into goals, where you have the big goal, the dream, but now you have to break it into where it's attainable, it's a time sensitive, measurable, right, relevant to where you are in your life. And so it just takes the dream and actually puts the action steps behind it to where you're really accomplishing and acquiring the thing that you are dreaming about. So the dream is the first stage, right? The dream is but a lot of people just dream, right, Dr. Shaniqua? A lot of people just have these big ideas. They talk real good, but then the next year comes and they're in the same place they were at last year, at the same goal, or they had the same dream, and they're not putting in the work behind it. So that's pretty much what I do. So when I say I guide you to your dream life faster by making simple tweaks to your mind, body, and goal, we talk about the roadblocks. We talk about the dreams and desires and the next best step to acquire those things and to get closer to it. So that's the difference.
I love it. And it made me think about, this was years ago. I had a conversation with one of my friends, and when I had went back to graduate school, again, this was years ago. I had went back to graduate school, and She was so excited. She was so proud of me. She was like, "Oh, I've always wanted to go back to school. Oh, you're doing your thing, girl." And I was like, "Well, come on. Like, I got all the information. Like, just come behind me. Look, I'll take the class first. I'll pass the stuff on so you don't have to get the books. You'll know what you need to do. Like, come on," because she had this dream as well. And I remember when I graduated, so we had that conversation when I had first started going, when she found out that I was enrolled. And then years later, it's my graduation. And she's like, "Wow, if I had started when you started, like right behind you, I would be almost finished by now, rather than still dreaming about it and hoping and wishing and praying about it." Right. And I think a lot of times as believers, we get stagnant because we prayed about it. And now we're like crickets.
Come
So
on.
let's go there. Let's go there, Tasha. What would you say to us believers that we
Yeah.
pray about the things that we want?
Well, I mean, the first thing that comes to mind when you say that is faith without works is dead, right? Like you could want this thing and God is waiting on you and you sitting there waiting on God, right? You
Mm-hmm.
have to have the faith, the belief in yourself and the belief that God is going to move on your behalf
Yeah.
when you want something and this is so funny. This made me think like a lot of times people, like you said, they pray about something or they want to do something and they're sitting there waiting. They're waiting for the clouds to open
Yeah.
up and God to say go, right?
Mm.
In actuality, he's waiting for you. And then also, understanding what is your why, right? Why do you want this thing? Because honestly, I believe in my heart of hearts, if your why is not big enough, if the reason why or your intentions is not pure, you're not going to act on that thing. You're
Yeah.
not going to activate to get to the goals because you're complacent or you're comfortable where you are, or but it sounds good, right? It sounds good. So I would say pretty much, you have to move. You have to move on. You have the faith, and you have to believe in yourself that you can do it. And another thing that I heard recently, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. Like people portray self confidence and self worth as the same thing, and they're not. Right. So you can feel confident in the moment because confidence comes and goes, right? Depending on what you're doing and where you're at. But the self worth is where the work is at. Because if you don't believe that you can achieve and attain those goals or that dream, right? That's another thing because your faith is not there. You don't believe that you can have it. Why is it going to come to you?
Yeah.
So it's important to believe. That's why in my I have a cohort. It's called Empower to Thrive, and in this is my accountability cohort where I coach the women. I provide them with templates, resources. I hold them. I'm on them because it's like you're not going to show up every week and not have made a dent in your goals, right? And not have activated. And no one wants to come up and be the one that didn't do anything. But I hold them accountable. And the first thing that we talk about is mindset and belief
Yeah.
because these goals are so big. You gotta believe that you can acquire. You gotta have the self worth, and that's a thing that we have to develop, right? We have to develop
Mhm.
that. So that's the biggest thing is starting with the mindset and the belief. That's why I said mind, body, and goals, right? Because everything starts with your mindset.
Oh, it certainly does. It starts that's the reason why the head is at the top, because
There
that's
you go.
where it starts. And I love what you said, that your self-worth is where the work is at. Like that's where you're gonna have to stay up when everybody else is asleep. That's when you're gonna have to get up when everybody else is hanging out and doing, going to the parties. That's when you're gonna have to show and prove that this
Yeah.
is something that you truly, truly want. I love that, and that really resonated with me.
Mhm.
Let's go a little deeper into the intentions, because we did,
Mhm.
grace upon that. Let's talk about making certain the intentions are correct. So
You are.
what advice, what words of wisdom and encouragement could you give to someone when it comes to them doing this kind of self-check and seeing and making certain that their intentions are on track with where they're going?
Yeah, no, that yeah, for sure. So with what how I look at it is okay, your intention is what you put out is what you're gonna attract, right? If your intention is to because I want this goal because I want to give back. I wanna achieve this goal because I wanna leave a legacy to my family, to my kids, right? When you're thinking of your intention, you have to get down to, like I said prior, why do you want this thing, right?
Mhm.
What is it gonna cost? And
Yeah.
I'm not talking about money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, those sleepless nights,
Yeah.
sacrificing, right? Giving,
Yeah.
what is it going to cost you? And are you willing to do that, right? Are you willing to pay the price to get this thing? And that goes for if it's a business, if it's weight loss, if it's finances, whatever it is, you have to get to the root of what is my intention for wanting these goals? Because you can wake up in the morning and say, I want a Lamborghini.
Yeah. Hey, come on, somebody.
You don't have a car, but you want a Lamborghini, right? So what's your
Right.
intention for getting the Lamborghini, right? And
Yeah.
so you have to have the pure intention, and then once you have the intention, you get to the root of why do I want this thing? What is it going to do for me? What is it? How is it going to serve? A lot of people want things for themselves, and they're not looking to
Mhm.
serve, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what it is. It's all about service and blessings and gifts come through people come
Mhm.
through, the hand is not coming from the sky. It's an
Yeah.
interaction, it's an exchange. So you have to be willing to serve to get in return. What you reap, you shall sow, give and you shall receive, all
Yes.
of that, right? So that's where it comes down to the intention is why am I doing this? Who am I wanting to help and serve? And then what do I want to leave a legacy for my family, whatever that is. But getting down to the and journaling through that, because journaling is big. I journal everything, right? Whether I am in my frustration, whether I am excited, whether I'm just giving thanks, right? Being grateful. Journaling reveals those things to you. So those are the first steps I would say for
I
sure.
love it. That is good and great advice because we do want to make certain that our intentions are pure, that our intentions are aligned with the will of God. And one of my guests, my previous guests on here, Pastor Marshall, she had put up a post on Facebook and she likened the heart to a glass. She
Mm,
likened it to a glass where we want to make certain that our heart is pure. That's where our intentions are coming from. But she says, what if the heart was, yes, pure, but it was so pure that it was clear like glass? And that
mm,
you can look at the heart and you can see God through it. So,
mm,
what if you made an intention, but does your intention look like, does it reflect God?
mhm,
Right?
mhm,
Because we can want what we want. And I've had to check myself. Listen,
mhm,
I've been doing a
mhm,
self check. I
mhm.
know when I went after things and my intention was money. Oh, I want to gain money. I need to get rich quick. I need this. I need that. I want to be able to do the things that I want in life. Yeah, my intentions were money. Now, it's not to say that God couldn't bless. It's not to say that God did not align me to that opportunity. But I do realize that when things don't work out the way I had intended or what I had expected, I can't really be so mad because I now go back to the intent and was like, well, that mirror was a little spotty. There were some spots on that. And, it's just about being open and honest. And
Right.
I feel now that I'm more self-aware, I now can check my intention. So before I make the decision to go left, go right, I want to check my intentions. So
I
I'm
love
grateful that you brought that up in our conversation.
Yeah, no, I love that. And I think it's very important, like you said, when you're thinking about, your glass and because we all fall short, right? But
Mhm.
it's to the purest of your ability and also, seeking God, right? And saying, okay, this is what I want to do. I surrender to you. I may not, my story. You know that finances are low, or that I need this, but I also want to serve. And I know that, ask and I shall receive. And I know that abundance is my birthright. So when in this, lead and guide me so that in this I may prosper, because that's the will. That's what you want from me, right? It's not meant for us to be begging bread and all of that. So it's very important that we make sure that to the best of our ability and what we know, and we know better, we do better, that we
Mhm.
are looking at our heart and looking at and checking ourselves, because it is a constant check, right? Like you said, it's a constant check. Sometimes I'm like, okay, I want this. And then not only that, but when my pastor said, my bishop said the other Sunday, he said, a lot of y'all ask for things from God, and then when you don't get the thing that you asked for, you say God doesn't hear your prayers. He
Mhm.
does. He said no.
Imagine
He
that.
said no.
Right? Because we're so preconditioned. We're like, well, no, the word of God says, yay and amen. That means I'm supposed to get everything. So if I ask for it, I'm supposed to get it. What you mean? He said no.
And I
Show
was
me
like,
that in scripture, Bishop.
yeah, it was so funny, because just to hear it like that, it was like, just like your father, if you want to talk about your real father, biological father, mother, when they say no, it's a no, and they know what's best for you, right? As a child, a little kid, like, don't touch that, or no, you can't have that. It's 10 o'clock, you cannot have any, candy, whatever,
Yeah.
right? So we ask God for these things, and then we say he don't hear us, or he's not answering, but he did. He said no, and so
Yeah.
that's maybe because your heart is not pure, your intention is not right. So
Yeah.
you got to check yourself, because the no is going to stand into your heart, until your glass is clear and you can see God through that. So that
Yes.
was just, for me, it was like, wow. It was
Yeah.
just like,
You know what? One of my personal development coaches, we had did this activity once. And the activity was for us, and it was a large group of people, it was a bunch of us in this room. And we had to break off into like groups of 7, right? And so we were in these groups of 7, and we had to go around and we had to give our pitch. Like, so whatever our elevator pitch was, we had to say it within, 60 seconds or less. We had to give our pitch. And the person that we turned to and we pitched to, they had to tell us no.
mm,
And then we had to go to the next person and we had to give the pitch again. And they were going to tell us no too. And then we had to go to, and we got, we in a group of 7 people. Oh my goodness. Oh my, 7. No, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
yeah.
But I think we got this spoiled brat syndrome where we think that every goal, every dream, every aspiration that we fathom is going to come true, and it's going to come true in the way in which we visualized it. Have you ever had an outfit, like you're going someplace, you know you're invited to go out to this event, and then you automatically you get this vision of this outfit, and you're like, oh yes, I'm gonna do my hair like this, I'm gonna wear the earrings like that,
Right.
but I don't own this outfit. And now you're running around from store to store to store trying to find this outfit, and you can't find the outfit. What you gonna do now? You're just not gonna go? No,
Right.
you're gonna try to get as close as possible. You're gonna try to do what you can with what you have, like what you have before you. So I think of goal setting in the same way. One, you can't be mad if somebody tells you no, even if it's God.
Mhm.
It
Mhm.
just means that you need to readjust, you need to shift a little bit and try it again this way. Right. So a no ain't never hurt nobody. So maybe we need to all do some mirror work and stand in the mirror and tell, because I hate to tell myself no.
What? What? I don't like no.
What you
Don't tell
mean
me
I can't
no.
go? But I want it. I love it. I need it. It's like,
Right.
no. Well, we need to
Yeah. But
practice that.
in the past, I would say, year, I've been really working on that, because I understand that when things don't work out my way, there's a reason,
Hmm.
right? There's a reason it's not supposed to work out that way. And when you embrace that, and when you take that on, and knowing that if it's too much, everything is work. Nothing comes free, nothing comes easy. But if the stumbling block, or the wall, or is just so hard to break through, then it's maybe not the right way. Maybe
Yeah.
that's not the thing, right? And so you, like, okay, so for example, um 2021, my husband and I, we sold our house.
Hmm.
And I wanted an RV so bad. I just wanted an RV because we were like waiting for the market to come down. We were going to purchase again in, the near future. But in the meantime, I wanted this RV. We went to the trade show. We're looking in and out of the RVs and put my name on this and when we got back to the tri-state, it was so hard. Like if I lived in Texas, if I lived up in the mountains, it was like, because here there was so many regulations, so much, they wanted so much money. Like the RV cost, say 50 grand, they wanted 25,000 down. And I'm like, but I'm in these groups and they're telling me you only need five. Sometimes you don't even need nothing. They're just as much, and it was just such a struggle. And now hindsight, and I said, it's just not meant to be as bad as I wanted it. I could see it. I went to see him. I'm thinking tiny living and all of this. And it just was not in the cards. And I had to be okay with that instead of forcing it and then getting into something and then it not working out anyway. But now I'm way invested. I've lost all this money. It didn't work out. I have nowhere to put it. I'm in the city. You know what I'm saying? So I have taken on the fact that if it doesn't work out and it's a no, and I'm just okay with it. I know that there's another way, there's another door, and that has brought me so much peace.
Yeah.
And so much confidence in God and knowing that He is completely aligning my steps, right? I don't move without consulting Him. And so when it doesn't work out, I understand that He said no. And so now I need to pivot and I need to sit and stop talking so much and listen.
Yeah.
Right? And listen to Him because He's going to direct your path. So it's very, very important, like you said, to understand that it's not always going to work out exactly how you said, how you want it. And that when you talk about that outfit thing, that is my story. Anytime I got an event, I wait to the last minute and I got this idea. I can never find, because I'm not a typical shopper anyway. I hate going to the store and just perusing. And now I'm like, oh my goodness. But guess what? It always works out. I'm always stepping out looking fly.
Indeed.
Right?
Indeed.
So you just gotta know that. And I think that's so important, right? So important.
It is, and we have to be big girls and big boys now. We've got to be able to accept a no. And I love the word that I keep hearing you say, and it's pivot. Because sometimes it's not a hard no. Right? Sometimes it's a not that way.
Yeah.
Not that route. Oh, baby, not that person.
Yep. Come on.
Right? So a no is not really a no. It just says, well, maybe, maybe I need to go this way and then go this route. Maybe it's just a pivot. It's a realignment so that we get it done the right way. Because truth be told, I don't want it just to say that I have it. I want it because I've done it the right way.
There you go. Yeah.
Like I want the wealth, the success, but I want it not because I'm out here selling my soul and shaking my behind and backstabbing people, but I want it because God says that this is the benefits from the work that I've done. Exactly. Right? Because you said it already in the beginning. The self-worth equals the work. That's where you're going to put in the work. I want to show myself qualified. I want to show myself able to do it because I'm willing to put in the work.
That's good. And that's and what I love about that is that we're not, and it's not like you said, it's not a hard no, and it's maybe not right now, right? Because you're asking for something that you can't even sustain. You're asking for something that you're not even prepared for.
Yes,
you have not even built that muscle.
Come on, there you go. Now you on my street. Come on and talk about it. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at it. I'd be like, okay, this is the big thing, but I understand that I gotta take the steps to get there. And I understand what season I'm in, right? Yeah, the soft life sounds good, but baby, I'm not there yet. I am in the peace life. I'm gonna protect my peace, but I'm in the show up consistently, show myself, prove myself, get in these rooms, collaborate. That's where I'm at right now. And you have to know your season. You have to know your season and hold your goals and your dreams and make those little strides to get to it. But understand that nothing happens overnight, and God is preparing you to be able to sustain all that you're asking for. That's just that. It's just that simple. So
Baby, if I had a live band here, I would have old boy hitting the drums. Where the tambourine? Somebody give me a tambourine because that was good right there, right? It is about putting in the work. And a lot of the things we got to get our weight up. Like you said, you can't even sustain it. You want it so bad. But who's to say in this economy you would have been able to sustain the thing that you wanted? But it looks so good. You studied this. People are saying you can have it, but it didn't happen for you. Right.
Right.
So sometimes God says, oh, I need you to grow to that. And a lot of times we look at people and their level. So they're in the middle of their story. And here you are at the beginning of your story, and you comparing your beginning to their middle. And now you sulking. Sis, stop sulking, right?
Sell it.
That was a plug for a podcast, right? We're going to
That's
talk about
it.
that in a minute. But then that's what we do. We sitting around sulking.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
God is like, no, I need you to get your weight up because I want you to maintain it. Because I can easily give it to you. I can have
Right.
somebody knock on your door and like, ding dong, here it is. But if you are not going to sustain it, what good does it do?
Exactly. Exactly. And I like to say, I'm gonna win, but I'm not worried about the win.
Hmm.
Right? I'm not worried about the WHEN. I know I'm going to win. God has shown me, right? But it's not my job to rush the process. It's
Yeah.
my job to continue to show up and go along the path that He's providing for me.
Yep.
So I know I'm going to win. I'm just not worried about the win because,
Amen.
because honestly, when you're worried about the win, you're not really operating in your faith
Mhm.
that is
Hmm.
going to happen for you because you're worried about what's coming instead of being present in what's now and showing up right now for what you need to be doing right now. So if you're worried about anything in the present or in the past and you're not operating 100% in your faith, and that is not going to work because we said faith and no work is all dead. And if
Yeah.
you don't believe in God, that's all He wants is your faith. That's
Yeah.
all He wants is you to believe, right? Believe that it's possible for you, having your self worth and believing that He can move on your behalf, and
Hmm.
that's what it is. So I ain't worried about the win, baby. I know
Yeah.
I'm gonna win.
Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. That is really, really good. So let's help the people. Let's help
That's
the
how.
people, Tasha. Give them some tips because I know we're midway, like we're good and started into 2024 now. Like we should know by now what we are doing. And you actually hosted a none like ever before vision board event. This goal setting vision board mastermind where you
Mhm.
brought together, you created this space for women to come together and to actually begin to start mapping out their goals. We understand that that's the norm, right? That's the societal norm to do in the beginning of the year. Once upon a time, we call them New Year's resolutions.
Right.
But we done grown and evolved and girl power and all of this. So we're no longer talking about New Year's resolutions, but we are creating these boards. We are writing down the vision. So now we're a couple of months in from that. What would you say to someone who's still sitting there
Mhm.
twiddling
Mhm.
their fingers? They still looking for the glitter paint and the stickers and the streamers. They still trying to construct these boards and make them glow in the dark. And girl,
Where's the lie, right? Where's the lie, right?
and I can only talk it because listen, there's been some seasons, there's been some years in the past, thank God, but there's been some years where it's like that. You've got this momentum in the start of the year, but as we get months down the line, you sitting around looking and looking. What
Yeah.
advice, what encouragement could you give to someone who finds themselves now like, oh yeah, I did go to an event like into that. I put all of this stuff on this board. Now what?
Yeah. Yeah. I have a complete framework that I go through, but I'll just give a couple of steps with that because, truthfully, like you said, like around this time, the people start to fall off from their goals, right? They
Mhm,
start to go back, right? So
mhm,
the first thing I would say is you want to go back to your. Cause, all right, let me just say this: the vision board is amazing, right? But God said, write the vision
Yes.
and make it plain. So it's not enough just to have the pretty pictures,
Mm-hmm.
right? You have to first decide in your mind what that is. So I do in my ETA, which that's Empowered to Thrive. We do a visualization exercise in the very beginning, and in the very beginning, we envision what if we had no limits, no boundaries, no no's, right? What would
Mm-hmm.
our day and the life look like? And we go from the time we get out the bed and we go through the entire day. And I've done this so many times. I can tell you the exact everything that's happening in my day and how I want it to look. But when you're doing this visualization exercise, you want to make sure that you are looking from within. You are not looking at yourself walking across. You're not looking at
Mm-hmm.
yourself going into your walk-in closet. You want to be inside where you see your hands embracing the things, right? You want to go inside where, because there's more power instead of watching yourself in a third person, there's more power in watching and actually embodying this feeling. So it's a
Mm-hmm.
feeling and it's seeing it, right? So you want to visualize that. Now that we've visualized it, we've wrote it down. Not only do we see it, but we've written it down as it is so, right? Today I get up, I go do this, da, 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 I make this, and all of it is in present tense right now.
Mm-hmm.
Then you take that and you break it up into a big goal. I call it the long term goal, right? And you have 7 categories that you want to think about. You want to think about career and business. You want to think about relationships. You want to think about your health and wellness. You want to think about your finances, your spirituality. You want to think about your hobbies and fun. And then there is one more, um, personal development. Yeah, and then you break apart your relationships and you can break it into platonic and romantic, right? And so in these 7 categories, that's the things that you're envisioning, that's the things you're talking to and writing it out. Now you take that and you say, what is the, if I want to lose, my health and wellness goal is to lose 20 pounds in the year, because I believe that breaking your goals into quarters allows you to achieve your goals faster. A lot of times that's why they were called New Year resolutions, because you took the whole year to do it. I don't teach like that. When my cohorts are 90 days, 12 weeks, right? You can stay in the next cohort that comes, but it's usually a new group of women. And they
Okay.
come into this cohort and then the other women can stay in, but you come in, you set your goals, and in 12 weeks, you're going to be much faster. You've accomplished your goals, accelerated your growth than in 12 months.
Yes.
So you write down the big goal for the year. Now you break it up into this quarter. What if I want to lose 25 pounds, I'm gonna break that down to 10 pounds in 12 weeks, right? Now I take that midterm goal and I break it into mini goals, which
Mm-hmm.
are action steps. What do
Yes.
I have to do? I have to meal plan. I have to maybe do a meatless meal in a week. I need to measure myself. Now you use the SMART goal method, which we all know, right?
Yes.
Specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time sensitive. And then you break those down like that. And once you've done that, now you check in with yourself, or you have an accountability group like
Mm-hmm.
ETA or an
Yeah.
accountability partner, and you check in. And then you also have a tracker, which I created my own tracker, and you check off the things that you check in with yourself, because sometimes you fall short. Maybe
Yeah.
your goal is to go to the gym 4 times, but you only go 3. Or maybe your goal is to save, $100 or not eat out, but you do. So you keep that, because the accountability comes from seeing where you need to celebrate and where you need to turn it up,
Yeah.
right? And where you need to give yourself grace and where you need to push yourself harder. And so my job is to ask those tough questions, is to stretch you to come, okay, you're saying you want to do this, but 12 weeks is a long time. Can you push that to this? Or what's the date that you're going to do this? And then that's how you're held accountable. So it's basically the vision, writing it out as if it is so, shifting your mindset. We talk about belief, we talk about faith like we did today. And
Yeah.
then the big goal, the medium goal, and then the action steps, and then the accountability. And then we celebrate each other. So you have to come on and you share, this is what I did well, this is where I need to, and then I assist you and hold you accountable in that way. But and that's what, if you're starting over or you're realizing like, I need to get myself together, that's where you want to start. That's where you want to start and look at it that way. And also obviously your intention for those things. So that's what I
I
would say.
love it. Listen, listen. If y'all wasn't taking notes, y'all gonna have to watch the replay, and this time get your notepad so that way you can jot all of this stuff down, because it is doable. It is
Mm-hmm.
doable. Tasha didn't just start out with this like yesterday, right? It's because she stayed consistent and she's been putting in the work, and now she's able to reach back and help other people do the same thing. So make certain that you are all staying connected with Miss Tasha Talks Life. Come on, because she's gonna help you fix your life. Her, y'all out here trying to help you fix your life, right? This is what we're doing, you know. But listen, before we let you go, I mean, we could literally sit here all day long because I got so much I would like to just chat with you about. But
Yeah.
let's talk about this podcast.
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Yes. So yeah. So this. Oh my God, I love my podcast so much. It's called Sis Stop Talking, and basically the podcast we focus on mind, body, and goals. And I've been in education for over 14 years, so I can't help but to teach. And I believe that when you come to this show, you leave with tips, strategies. Things that you can implement right away in your life. We have fun. We laugh, we joke, but it's more important for me to help you to achieve and know, like you said, that it's doable, right? And to the sister that says, "Oh, I'm just gonna wait to feel motivated," right? Motivation comes and goes. Motivation fluctuates. So what you need to do is do the thing that you know you need to do, which discipline is the thing that's going to help you improve. So do the thing that you know you need to do so that you do it consistently, so that the results, you start to see the results, and now you become motivated to now activate the discipline, and then you are able to achieve your goals. So yeah, so the podcast, we have over 94 episodes, and we are starting in March. We are starting the show is going to the Roku app under Grown Woman TV Media, the network. So I am just super excited about that.
Nice.
It's just a lot of things going on. God is definitely moving, and I'm being very conscious that my intentions stay pure, and I'm surrendering to the call. But yeah, the podcast is on YouTube as well as all audio platforms, Red Circle, Apple, Google, Spotify, everywhere that you can that you listen.
I love it. Listen, everyone, you need to make certain that you are connecting. For those of you who are on my mailing list, you already got it. You already knew all about Miss Tasha Talks Life, and you got all of the links. I want you to make certain that you are following her. We got her Facebook up. We've got her Instagram. She's at Tasha Talks Life. And please make certain that you check out her website so that you can learn more about her. You can hear more about her coaching, her programs that she has available, because you know what? We're in the second quarter. We don't want to still be talking around twiddling our fingers in the third quarter, in the fourth quarter, looking dry and talking about I'm waiting for my momentum. No, you gotta get started, and having the resources available is going to help you jumpstart yourself. And Tasha even brought a goody. She brought a
Yes.
free gift for all of us. So the link is in the description box. Make certain that you click on it. Tell us a little bit about this personal growth quiz.
Yeah, so this personal growth quiz is 10 questions, and it's the hard truth about your self-love and your life goals, and are you sabotaging your success? So in this quiz, you take these 10 questions, and it's going to highlight your areas and your roadblocks and things like that, so that you can identify them. Because sometimes we struggle with things and we don't even know exactly what the root is. We don't really know what the thing is not happening, but it's not really the thing. It's the underlying. It's the roadblock and stuff. So this quiz, I love it. It's really gonna open your eyes to how you're sabotaging yourself, or if you're on the right track. And so you take the quiz. If you after that, if you like to book a call or to talk about it a little further, that also information is at the end of the quiz. So yeah, but it's a free quiz.
Listen, I'm going to take the quiz. So I'm going to be able to tell y'all about the quiz, but y'all need to meet me over there, and that we all take the quiz together, and then we can chat about our results and such. But
That's it.
thank you so much for offering such a beneficial gift to us, so that way we can continue this quest to keep getting better. And it's never about you've gotten to this place where you know all you need to know and you've done all you need to do. There's always a place of growth. And I want people to feel comfortable with stretching themselves so that they can get the information and then they can decide whether or not they want to make the next step and who support that they need to make the next step. So thank you so much, Tasha. But before I let you go, I need you just to give us some words of encouragement. Now, everything that you've pretty much said thus far has been encouraging. It has been inspiring, but there's always one.
Yeah.
There's always one that's just straddling on the fence. They don't know if they should, if they need, if it's possible for them. What words of encouragement could you give to just that one that's just on the fence about this whole goal setting, accountability, mumbo jumbo? What would you say to them?
For sure. First, I want to thank you so much for having me on the show. You are such a vibe. You are such a vibe, Dr. Shanika. I mean, I love it. Every time I just feel the energy all the time. So I appreciate you and thank you so much. And I just would leave with this. I would say to the sister that's on the fence that everything that you need is already inside of you. Okay. Stop looking for validation from everybody else and seek God. Sit still, ask God to show you, and stop, because when you ask too many people about what's good for you, you become more confused than when you started. So don't ask your friend to the right. Don't ask. Just sit with it and surrender to God, and He will direct you. He will give you what you need to know. So that's the word that I have for you today.
I love it. Thank you so much, Tasha. Listen, this platform is always open to you. You are always welcome here because I enjoy being around you. I enjoy listening. And here's the funny thing about it is that we do something very similar. I too am an accountability coach, but this right here lets us see, and this is a grand example that there doesn't have to be competition, that we are out here celebrating and supporting one another. So it can be done. There's enough of this goodness going around for all of us. So I am always happy to share space with you, and you will not be a stranger to us. We gonna know Miss Tasha Talks Life again and again and again. So
Thank
thank
you
you
so
so
much.
much.
Thank you
All
so much.
right.
I appreciate you.
You welcome. Hang out for just a second, Tasha. Let me give the people their marching orders. Hey, wasn't that good? I'm telling you, you gotta listen to the replay. You gotta get your notes. I want you to go over and over and over again. And I want you to get every nugget that was dropped because I don't want you to miss a beat of this. We are in the second quarter of our strategy and our planning. You got to make certain that you're on point. And just because the goals that you started out with at the beginning of the year, you might need to check them out. You might need to reevaluate to see if these are still what it is that you need to jump into. So I am so grateful to Miss Tasha Talks Life for coming by and blessing us with a little good stuff. And don't forget to get that quiz, okay? You make certain that you go to her website. The link is in the description box to get that quiz so that we all can start to grow and develop according to the way God has intended. So please be sure to subscribe to my channel. Make certain that you share this message with another friend who you know needs to hear this. And let's meet back here on the next segment of the Black Girl Encourage Her. Until then, you all be blessed.